there, this is Dakota with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing you my top 10 episodes from Power Rangers. These are episodes from the various seasons of Power Rangers that I've watched that I've really enjoyed. So let's get started. At number 10, from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Season 2, Episode 30, Mirror of Regret. So this episode is about a kid named Sean who is a karate student in Rocky and Adam's class, and he lacks self-confidence. Of course, Adam sympathizes with him by saying that he used to be the weakest kid in his class. And Adam tells Sean to not give up so fast and that he needs to believe in himself. And during their training session with Sean, Adam tells him to use his inner strength and that confidence is the most important part. Of course, Lord Zed gets wind of this and hatches a plan to shake Adam's confidence. So while training at the park, Lord Zed sends down Goldar with a mirror appropriately entitled Mirror of Regret and forces Adam to remember his past as a weakling to undermine his confidence. Then there's an attack on the city, and the Zordon tells the Rangers that they can help Adam and that he must regain his own confidence. Goldar tells him that he's exactly like Sean, the student, and there's no confidence in him at all. This backfires, of course, because as a Mirror of Regret reveals that Sean does have confidence in himself, and Adam tells Goldar that he is strong enough on the inside to handle all his mocking. I like this episode because it deals with self-confidence, and I think that a lot of us have been there. I think we've all lacked confidence in ourselves, and I think it's just about finding confidence within ourselves to be able to do things. And that's why I like this episode. Was it the best episode? No. Was it a good, well-written episode? No. But just the fact that it deals with the relatable topics such as self-confidence is the reason why I like it. Alright, at number 9, from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, Episode 11, From Deep Within the Shadows. Alright, so this episode is about them testing out the titanium morpher. Of course, it gets stolen. We don't know by who. It's also revealed that Captain Mitchell, who is the group's mentor, and his daughter Dana is the Pink Lightspeed Rescue. They had an accident, and in that accident, their son, Mitchell's son Ryan and Dana's brother were lost. Of course, somebody breaks into the Aqua base and steals the titanium morpher. Nobody knows who did it, and it is later revealed who did it, but we don't see the person's face. So during an attack of the city, the Rangers are prepared to strike down the titanium morpher, but the captain, who recognizes his face, tells them to back down. And when they go back to the Aqua base, the Rangers question as to why Captain Mitchell reveals that the Titanium Ranger is none other than his son, Ryan. And Diabolical has poisoned Ryan against his dad and his sister by saying that his father loved his sister more and discarded him like trash. I like this episode because of the potential thought that we're going to get a new evil ranger. However, the following episode kind of ends that very quickly. So that's why this episode is really low on the list. At number 8, from Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Episode 5, Back in Black. Alright, so I like this episode because it marks the grand return of Tommy Oliver as the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Beforehand, Tommy has been the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Zeo Ranger, and the first Red Turbo Ranger. Tommy had not been a Power Ranger since Wild Force Forever Red when he returned as the Red Zeo Ranger. And another thing that I like is that it adds to the humor that the Power Rangers are always color coordinating because Tommy says that he has to go shopping due to a shortage of black clothing. But what about you guys? What's your favorite version of Tommy? Personally, mine is the green, but that's just me. What do you guys? Do you guys like Tommy as black? Have you guys even seen Tommy as a Black Dino Thunder Ranger? Or is this the first time you are hearing about Tommy being the Black Dino Thunder Ranger? Because if it is, you guys are missing out. Dino Thunder is a really good season. At number 7, from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, Episode 20, Eclipsing the Megazord. This is part 4 of the Green with Evil saga and my favorite part of that saga. This is basically Rita's plan to cause a solar eclipse to depower the Megazord. So up until this point of the series, the Rangers have always won every battle they've ever been in. Sure, they've encountered a few difficulties, but have always managed to succeed. By this point in the saga, the Rangers have had trouble defeating the Green Ranger. And to make matters worse, there's an interdimensional power surge. They lose Zordon. They get a tag team on a 2-on-1 handicap match between Goldar and Scorpina. And then later on, the Green Ranger joins in. So it's a 3-on-1 handicap match. It all proves to be too much for the Power Rangers, and they end up falling out of the Megazord. They hit the floor, they demorph, and they watch in horror as their Zords fall. And at the end of the episode, of course, the Rangers learn that the Green Ranger is none other than Tommy Oliver. But how did you guys feel watching that episode? I mean, imagine you're a kid watching the episode and the Power Rangers got their butts kicked. I mean, honestly, hands down, that's my favorite episode of the whole Green with Evil saga. So it's a really good episode. At number 6, from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, episode 31, The Power of Pink. This is part 2 in the Lost Galaxy in Space team up. So previously, the Rangers had battled the Psycho Rangers, who were part of Power Rangers in Space. And Psycho Pink survived, and she's after the Savage Sword. Of course, Kendrick's the Pink Galaxy Ranger, and Cassie, the Pink Space Ranger, go after her. And the Psycho Pink stabs the Cassie's Power Morpher, or I should say in this case, Astro Morpher, with a Savage Sword. And it causes a pink wave. And Kendrick's had just a plan to destroy the Savage Sword, but it cost her her life. The reason why I like this episode is because this is the first time where a Power Ranger dies in the line of duty. Up until this point, we had never had a Power Ranger die. Sure, we've had power transfers. We had, Power Rangers leave, come back, but never had one of them died. And this was a game changer, if you ask me. Of course, in real life, Valerie Verlone, who played Kendricks, had to leave because she needed to undergo treatment for her leukemia. Thankfully, she recovered, and at the end of the season, Kendricks does return. At number 5, the episode that started it all, Day of the Dumpster. What do I need to say about this episode? I think all of us at this point have pretty much seen Day of the Dumpster. I don't need to go into this. But yes, Day of the Dumpster, hands down, I had to include this on here. Alright. At number 4, from my favorite season of Power Rangers, Zeo, episode 12, Instrument of Destruction. So what this episode was about was Adam trying to figure out who the mysterious pianist is at school. And, the bad guys try to kidnap that pianist. But long story short, Adam discovers that pianist is none other than Skull. And Skull tells him that he is worried that other people, including his best friend Bulk, will laugh at him if they found out he liked classical music. Adam assures Skull that people will respect him and that if Bulk was really his friend, he would be proud of what he can do. I like this episode because of the relatability. We've all been there. We've all had interests that we're scared if people found out they would make fun of us. I know firsthand from personal experience growing up. I didn't tell people that I liked the wrestling because I was worried about what they may think, both guys and girls. Even now, people still give me smack about liking Power Rangers and about collecting stuff. But that's just me. And thankfully, I have a really amazing group of friends who accept me with all my weird interests, to say the least. Alright, at number 3, from Power Rangers Beast Morphers Season 2, Episode 21, Source Code. So the reason why I like this episode was because it contained the biggest plot twist of all time. We find out that the villain in Beast Morphers Evox was none other than a previous villain from Power Rangers RPM, Venjix. How none of us saw this coming when the biggest hit was staring us right in the face. Evox is a computer virus, just like Venjix. That should have been the biggest hint, But I didn't see it. I know most people didn't see it. Or if you noticed or if you realized right away that Evox was Vengeance, let me know in the comments down below, because I would like to hear your opinion on that plot twist. At number 2, from Power Rangers Time Force, episode 4, Ransik Lives. So this episode basically goes into Ransik's backstory. If you don't know, if you've never seen Power Rangers Time Force, I highly suggest you watch it. Power Rangers Time Force is such a great season. But let me tell you a little bit about it. So basically, Ransik is the main villain. You know, he lives in the year 3000, and he wanted to basically stop the Time Force Rangers from stopping him, which is why he traveled to the year 2001 and tried to prevent Time Force from ever existing. So basically, we learned from Ransik himself that in the year 3000, genetic perfection was finally achieved, and every baby born had perfect DNA with perfect attributes selected by parents, and the best part, no disease. Then one day a tube broke and it fell, combining with some waste. Out of that, Ransik was born, and soon people started to shun him simply because he was a mutant. Ransik gathered other outcasts and formed an army of criminals to begin terrorizing the city. Of course, Wes tells Ransik that it was wrong for people to shun him, but tells him that revenge is never the answer. And at the end of the episode, Wes tells Jen that Ransik told him his story and he feels sorry for him. And Jen tells Wes to not let Ransik fool him. The people tried to help him, but he turned them away. And Jen says that the only thing Ransik wants is power, and that he's evil through and through, and that they must stop him at all costs. I like this episode because not only do we know what Ransik's background is, but I think some of us can relate. I mean, I know some of us has been shunned, you know, and not necessarily by society, but by a group of people, you know, whether it be because of the way we sound, the way we talk, the way we write. And that's the thing I like about Power Rangers, is that so many episodes are relatable, you know, to everyday world. If you ask me, Power Rangers Time Force is completely relatable. It's all about discrimination. So, but I'm not going to get too detailed into that. At number 1, from Power Rangers RPM, episode 11, Dr. K. Oh my god, this episode, wow, this was such a well-written episode. I really, really liked the episode. If you've never watched Power Rangers RPM, I highly suggest you watch Power Rangers RPM because it's a really great season. Dr. K is the mentor this season. Now, usually in the past, the villains are already around and the Power Rangers are just there to stop the villain. You know, take Rita and Zordon. They've been going at it for years, you know, but not in this case. So we come to find out that Dr. K was a child prodigy. We see her play with chalk, but not in the way that you think. She creates formulas. And she gets approached by 2 people in suits who take her to a facility known as Alphabet Soup. All she wants to do is go outside. That's all she wants, but they don't let her. They lie to her and say she's allergic to the sun. So this happens every year, every single year of her life. And on one particular year, she's given a computer to design a very special program. And they tell her to make a birthday wish, and Dr. K wishes to be able to remember her name. Later on in the episode, we find out that 2 other people were raised in Alphabet Soup alongside Dr. K, named Jem and Gemma. And, you know, another year goes by, they celebrate Dr. K's birthday, and they give her a present. And she tells them she doesn't even like them. So she doesn't understand why they gave her a gift. And one day, Dr. K is working on her computer, and a butterfly lands on her computer. And she follows the butterfly to a window. The sun rays hit her. And what ends up happening? Nothing ends up happening to her. And she finds out that she's been lied to her whole life. And at that instance, she makes a plan to escape. Alright, so in order for Dr. K to escape, she needs to blind the security servers for a bit. And she plans to do this using the Vengeance virus, which she created. And so she activates the virus and she attempts to install a firewall Otherwise, the Vengeance virus will spread outside of Alphabet Soup and infect the entire world. Unfortunately, she is not able to install the firewall, and as she's being dragged away by security, all she yells is, "I just wanted to go outside." And this episode, in my opinion, it's very well done, very well written, and to find out that the mentor of the Power Rangers was responsible for creating the villain and for causing the destruction, the near destruction of the world, it's very shocking. And in my personal opinion, our Power Rangers RPM is one of the best seasons of Power Rangers. If you haven't watched it, I highly suggest you do. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the episodes that I picked? What are some of your favorite episodes throughout the entire series of Power Rangers? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a more phenomenal day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.